Welcome to Turnpike Sports. I'm Dave Weishuttle, and as always, I'm joined by my producer and co-host, Doug Weishuttle. Doug, I don't know how I missed it, but they had the USFL draft, and I did not watch it. No one I knew watched it. I forgot completely it was on.
I couldn't forget because every time I opened up Twitter on my phone, there was a USFL draft choice being broadcast. It was actually kind of interesting how they were doing it. It was, 15, 20 rounds or something?
Well, you have to fill entire teams.
Guess so, yeah.
Where are there, 8 teams now?
8 teams, all playing in Alabama.
I got to tell you, I'm kind of excited about the USFL because it's, I guess for us, it's nostalgic because, we grew up watching the USFL, the, Jersey Generals, the Michigan Panthers, or the Pittsburgh Maulers. I think they're still there.
I still remember the LA Express.
Yeah, I don't think there's an LA. There's no LA.
It doesn't look like there's a West Coast team, is there? I didn't see one.
I don't know. I think were they all playing in Memphis now or something like that?
It's Alabama
or some place. It's some neutral
territory. I think it's
Birmingham, Alabama. Yeah. I don't know where they're playing, but
the one thing I want to know is how many players are they going to have on each team? I did not see that number, and maybe I missed it in all the drafting that was going on.
Actually, I'm more curious about how the sports books are going to handicap these teams because I guess they're going to look at the coaching staff and see who's better equipped coaching staff wise and things like that in order to get spreads and futures.
The one thing
God knows what.
The one thing I may do is if they actually do allow betting on the USFL right off the bat, they may not. Some states may not do it right at week 1, but
probably not. But
I think maybe one thing I would look at is the over because the defenses are not going to be that good, and the offenses are probably going to be maybe a little ahead of the game, depending on exactly what's going on.
Betting wise, I'm just confused about it. But
I may just take the first week. And
I'm sure there's going to be a lot of betting on it. There's spring football. What else is there to bet on? God knows what's going to happen with baseball. So it should be interesting. Well, we got a great show coming up. We got a By the Numbers segment. I hate this segment. I can't tell you how much I hate this segment because you throw out a number, and I never understand what you're talking about, or because I should know because it's a number in the news, it's a number in the betting community. But we have a By the Numbers segment coming up. We have a Beatin The House segment. We have a book report. And for my interview, I'm talking with Ari Fox. He's the creator of the Casino Esport Conference, which is being held at Alexis Resort in Las Vegas this year on March 23rd and 24th. Love it when Ari always comes on. He comes on every year.
Ari's a great guest.
Absolutely.
And he's got some really good opinions about what the esports industry should be doing down the road, especially with where it relates to casinos.
Yeah,
he's always got some interesting statements.
And it's always a great conference. It's been a busy week in sports, so let's take a trip down the Turnpike. Today's trip down the Turnpike is brought to you by Drizzly, your online liquor store. Available in over 95 cities across North America, Drizzly offers a huge selection and competitive pricing with a side of personalized content. Now there's no need to leave the house. Get alcohol delivered in less than an hour by Drizzly. Head on over to drizzly.com and order today. And now get $5 off your first order of $20 or more when using our promo code DRINK19 at checkout. Shop beer, wine, and liquor with drizzly.com.
Exit 1.
Okay, we're going to start off with another sports betting survey. I love sports betting surveys.
There's always a sports betting survey. Well, there are companies that just do surveys on sports betting, so, they give out good information.
Of all the industries out there, I think sports betting runs on data most of all.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
And we've got a new survey published by Arizona State University's Global Sports Institute.
Okay. So
in partnership... Let me finish.
All right.
With Phoenix's OH Predictive Insights.
All right.
So
okay.
That's a tremendous name for a statistical company.
Well,
right
I'm
there.
sure they have some good information.
And they were
What's this
looking-
one about?
They were looking at the attitudes towards sports betting in the United States.
Oh, so if people are in favor of sports
Yep.
betting, or if they
Or
have
they
a
don't
problem
mind
with
it,
sports
or they
betting?
don't mind it, that sort of thing.
All right.
We've got the survey shows just 16% of Americans oppose or strongly oppose sports betting.
16%.
16.
I would think there'd be a little more. I thought
attitudes.
that'd be higher.
It's the changing attitudes, especially in Arizona where they have sports betting now.
Yeah, considering that not all states have sports betting, obviously there's some opposition to it because not all 50 states have sports betting. So I'm surprised it's only 16%.
45% of the respondents had some knowledge of betting, which means they knew how to bet.
Okay.
And 80% of respondents said they bet at least once a year or less.
Oh, okay.
So that's kind of an interesting one, the 80% not betting more than once a year.
I wonder if the once-a-year bet was the Super Bowl.
Probably.
Yeah.
Or it could be March Madness coming up.
That's true.
Other numbers, 19% of the respondents say they strongly favor sports betting. 25% said they somewhat favor it. And 37% neither favor nor oppose it. So they had no opinion whatsoever.
I like that. I have no opinion whatsoever.
Yeah, I know. That's a great answer to give because it's something like you're tired of doing the survey.
Kind of a cop-out, but why do the survey if you have no opinion?
According to the survey, 59% of men either strongly favor or somewhat favor sports betting, while 63% of female respondents said they neither favor or oppose wagering. So 63% of the female respondents
just don't care.
Had no opinion.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
Overwhelming majority of respondents were in favor of state autonomy on sports betting, 52%. I don't know if I'd call it 52% overwhelming, but it's just over 50%. 21% said all states should legalize wagering, and 11% argued states should prohibit it.
Oh, okay.
I'm a little surprised at the low number of the 21% legalizing sports wagering. You would think it'd be a little higher now.
Well, I don't know where they took their.
It did not say if it was just Arizona.
Yeah, who knows? Yeah, it depends where they're taking these surveys at.
And just to round out the survey, 85% of the respondents answered yes or maybe when asked if measures should be put in place to prevent and or treat compulsive sports betting.
Oh, okay, that's good.
I mean, we always give a nod to American Gaming Associations have a game plan. So
it's good that 85% of the people were, responsible and they thought something has to be done, and that's good.
Exit 2.
Okay, with the ever-growing esports industry, one of the aspects of esports is esports betting.
Yes.
And West Virginia has now joined the call for esports betting.
Great. I know New Jersey has it.
Well, New Jersey
or
has
New Jersey is on a
states
case-by-case basis, I guess you would call that.
Most states do it that way.
Yeah.
But West Virginia has introduced an amendment to their sports betting law in the form of House Bill 4826.
Okay.
This bill, if you want to call it a bill, or an amendment, whatever you want to call it, is dedicated to establishing a firm definition of esports. They didn't have a definition of esports.
Well,
and you know what? That's understandable. At the time the law was crafted, esports may not have been on the minds of the legislature.
Well, when you think of betting, you rarely think of esports, but
Now
more,
you gotcha.
more and more people are thinking of esports when they talk about betting. So it's a good thing they're putting it into legislation.
Well, according to the bill, an esport event is everything that corresponds to the following. And I'm reading this right from the bill.
Oh, okay. They give a checklist, huh? All right.
It's an electronic sport or competitive video game played as a game of skill for spectators.
Okay.
Nice generic definition.
Yeah, that's a good definition.
It fits.
Yeah.
And also what they want to do is change the sports betting bill to categorize esports as a professional sporting discipline.
Okay.
I know that's a nice way of saying
All
they
right.
want to make it a sporting event.
It's such legalese.
Yes.
That's
Well,
what it is. It's a bill.
Yeah. This is what they're going to be saying. The bill reads, sports event or sporting event means any professional sport or athletic event, any collegiate sport or athletic event, motor race event, esports event, or any other special event authorized by the commission under this article. They're trying to change the definition of a sporting event under the sports betting law. And again, you're going to see a lot more states doing this.
Sure.
This has already got a lot of support from different legislators in West Virginia. Actually, they're called delegates.
Yep.
So the Mountain State is actually moving forward to possibly have esports wagering soon. I mean, this still has to make its way through the House and the Senate. It's only a committee bill right now.
Oh, so this is like a long way away.
It may not be that long.
All right. Well,
I mean, it depends on how long they want to do their how much effort they want to put into pushing this one. It looks like it's got enough support that maybe it can be pushed through relatively quick. I see what New Jersey's doing with esports wagering. There's, I know Nevada from time to time allows esports wagering on different events, so it's another revenue stream for the states.
In New Jersey, there's one Landol. I got that's coming up in March.
Yes.
Supposedly, it's at the Hard Rock in Atlantic City
with esports entertainment group.
Yeah.
But again, it's a matter of whether or not there's enough support in both the House and the Senate for West Virginia to start looking at esports wagering a little more seriously than they have.
Okay.
Exit 3.
Okay, you remember Atari?
I love Atari.
Well, Atari...
I still play Atari because apparently I got a gift one year of an Atari. It didn't come with the cassettes because the games are already built into the console.
It's on the chip.
So I got it a couple of years ago. So I grew up playing Atari. I love Atari.
Well,
I still play Atari.
Atari is celebrating its 50th anniversary with a special non-fungible token loot box.
See, I was looking at getting an NFT. I don't own any NFT yet. If Atari is coming out with NFTs, I might have to look into getting an NFT from Atari.
Well, they are NFTs called GFTs.
Okay.
Gift.
All right.
Because they are giftable purchases. If you buy an NFT from Atari, you can exchange it with another person. Sometimes you can't exchange NFTs with the way they're coded.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
Yeah, they have to be giftable.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a whole nother level.
I didn't know that. Now you just blew my mind. Now I really don't understand NFTs.
Well, most of these are going to contain memorabilia from the company's 50-year history.
Okay, all right.
You're going to see content that's going to be based upon Atari's library of games.
Great.
I mean, you're talking 50 years worth of games. I mean, you may see Yar's Revenge NFT.
I love that.
What's other? Not the Activision games. Don't confuse the Activision with the Atari games.
Okay, let me tell you something. The one thing I don't like about the console Atari thing that I got, it didn't have Pac-Man. Now, Pac-Man that
was never an Atari game.
It wasn't? Oh,
no.
I thought it was.
No,
was that like Activision or something like that?
No, that was licensed to Atari by Konami. They were the original creators of the Pac-Man game. Atari never had ownership of Pac-Man, so they could never include it in those new.
So quite possibly,
classic versions.
There is no Pac-Man Atari NFT.
I would assume, given
I got to check that out.
Given the potential revenue this could create, I would assume they're working out a license for Pac-Man.
Yeah, work out a license. Yeah,
but they're going to be doing this. They've announced it. They have not given a day or time frame for release of these NFTs, and given the fact that they're non-fungible token loot boxes, some areas may not allow you to purchase them because loot boxes have always been linked to gambling.
Oh, okay.
That's a gambling thing. That a lot of the esports tournaments used to have loot boxes in Europe.
Is that a big thing in Europe, especially in England?
Yes.
I know there was a lot of controversy about loot boxes.
Well, England, since they are doing loot boxes, they're not telling people how the depreciation of the NFT. I had to look for that word. Depreciation, because they have released the GFTs of epic rarity, whatever those are going to be.
Epic rarity, okay.
I mean, that may be a Yar's Revenge. That may be the Haunted House. That may be one of the first things.
Haunted House. I remember Haunted House. Okay.
That has a chance of a 1% drop in value.
All right.
The rare value at GFTs, I almost called it an NFT, but their GFTs has a 5% chance of dropping.
Okay.
So keep an eye out for the Atari NFTs coming or the Atari gifts coming, I should say.
All right.
And we'll see if we pick up one.
Exit 4.
Last but not least, we're going to do some NFL XFL.
Oh, okay. Yes, I heard they made a deal this week.
Yeah, it's not a developmental deal. They're trying to avoid that phrasing. Mm-hmm. It was a collaboration, much like what the NFL did with the CFL.
Okay.
I'm sorry, but the XFL did with the CFL.
Okay. So is there going to be experimentation with rules or
rule
things
changes
like that? Okay. All right.
Changes, player safety measures.
Okay.
I don't know if the XFL is in favor of kickoffs. I wonder if it's one of those leagues that doesn't do kickoffs.
When they first came out, like years and years ago, they didn't have a kickoff. I think, from what I remember, they had the ball at the one end of the field, and they had one member of each team run and go get the ball, and whoever got the ball got possession first. Is that the one?
The first incarnation of the XFL.
The very first. I mean, years and years ago.
XFL. This was Vince McMahon XFL.
Yeah.
He had the ball at the 50-yard line.
Okay, the 50-yard line.
The guys had to start at their own goal line
and run
to get
the ball.
And I remember the one guy that always got the ball was that he hate me. He came in and hit people.
I wonder what happened to him after the XFL.
Know. But the XFL will be testing out potential NFL rule changes, player safety measures, and they have gone out of their way. The XFL, which is run by Redbird Capital, Danny Garcia, and Dwayne Johnson, The Rock.
The Rock.
By the way, Danny Garcia is The Rock's ex-wife.
Oh, okay.
But they are still partners in all this.
Well, good for them. They can work together.
Yep. The deal is non-exclusive. It doesn't prevent either league from working with other leagues. And the XFL has gone out of their way to say they are not going to be a developmental league for the NFL. I guess they had to say that.
All right.
I don't know if it's going to turn into that down the road. It might be the only way they actually survive.
Yeah.
To get some NFL money coming in, but we'll see about that. And just the other aspect of the NFL. I saw this news story. I thought we might want to just hit it here real quick. Amazon, which has taken ownership of the Thursday Night Football plan for the NFL, has proposed a Black Friday game.
Which is great. I think it's great.
I think it makes sense for Amazon.
I know college basketball doesn't like it, but I think it's great,
Well, the NCAA does not like it at all.
You're looking for things to do Black Friday. I mean, I guess that's a big shopping day, and of course, Amazon. It's a big Amazon shopping day. It's a big Amazon shopping day, and it's a big shopping day in general, but Amazon in particular. And for them to have a football game, and they can kind of mix in some shopping things with it, and that's pretty cool.
Can you imagine watching a football game on Black Friday and then having sale things pop up on the sides or across the bottom, or some kind of clickable system?
Let me tell you something. I would prefer a Black Friday game instead of the third Thanksgiving Day game, because by that time of night, Thanksgiving, you're eating all day, you're drinking, you're watching 2 football games, and by the time the third game comes on, I'm usually dozing off during the third game, so I'm not really paying attention to it a lot. So I wouldn't mind a Black Friday game.
See, the one thing that's not clear in these stories about this proposal, are they proposing a 4th game, or are they asking the NFL to take the 3rd game and move it?
I got the impression that it would be the last game.
See, I was getting the impression of reading that it was going to be the 4th. It was going to be a 4th game.
You're not moving Detroit from Thanksgiving.
No. Or Dallas.
That's an American. Yeah, Detroit or the Dallas game. You're not moving that because that's an American tradition almost. But the 3rd game, I'm about footballed out and ready to go to sleep by that time. So, yeah, why not put it on to Black Friday? And today's trip down the Turnpike was brought to you by Drizzly, your online liquor store. Available in over 95 cities across North America, Drizzly offers a huge selection and competitive pricing with a side of personalized content. Now there's no need to leave the house. Get alcohol delivered in less than an hour by Drizzly. Head on over to drizzly.com and order today. And now get $5 off your first order of $20 or more when using our promo code DRINK19 at checkout. Shop beer, wine, and liquor with drizzly.com.
And as always, you can get in touch with Turnpike Sports by calling or texting us at 609-512-5910. That's 609-512-5910. At Turnpike Sports is the show's handle on Facebook and Twitter. At Turnpike Sports Radio is our handle on Instagram. And as always, our email address is info@turnpikesportsradio.com. And don't forget, you can listen to the show via Spotify, Amazon Music, iTunes, radio.com mobile app, as well as Stitcher and YouTube. You can also watch us on your smart TV, Roku, Amazon Fire, Apple TV. Head on over to turnpikesports.net. You'll be able to watch our video channel there.
Well, we got a great show coming up. We got a By the Numbers segment. We got a Beatin The House segment. We also got a book report. But right after this, I'm talking with Ari Fox. He's the creator of the Casino Esport Conference, which is being held at Alexis Resort in Las Vegas this year, March 23rd and 24th. So stick around. I'm talking with Ari Fox, and we come back with more Turnpike Sports.
The Casino Esport Conference returns to Las Vegas this March 23rd and 24th at the Alexis Resort. Now in its 6th year, the Casino Esport Conference brings together online and land-based gaming operators with professionals from all avenues of the esports industry. This 2-day conference and exhibition will allow attendees to discover new revenue and traffic through esports events and wagering. The Casino Esport Conference is the preeminent event to meet, share ideas, explore a wealth of product and service solutions, and to find the best way forward in the lucrative market of esports. CEC is the only conference covering the legal, policy, and regulatory dimensions of getting into this constantly evolving form of gaming and entertainment. Panels include experts discussing wagering, mobile social gaming, the latest technology, and much, much more. Don't wait. Head on over to www.casinoesportconf.com and register today to attend this exciting and unique look at the esports industry. That website again is www.casinoesportconf.com. The Casino Esport Conference, live and back in Las Vegas.
With some of the best promotions and offers in the sports betting market, PointsBet simply stands out. PointsBet is the only U.S. online bookmaker to offer points betting, where every yard, every point, every goal, even every play matters. Same-game parlays, good karma payouts, early payouts, and exclusive game day promotions and guarantees for all sports. PointsBet offers more bet types than any other bookmaker in the world, offering a unique set of markets that aren't available anywhere else. And now PointsBet is offering one of the best sign-up offers in the sports betting market today. New customers signing up with code BET21 receive 2 risk-free bets up to $2,000. Get up to $500 back if your first fixed odds bet loses, and up to $1,500 if your first points betting bet loses. That's code BET21 for 2 risk-free bets up to $2,000 at PointsBet. PointsBet, it pays to be fast. Must be 21 years or older and in New Jersey to place a bet. Terms and conditions apply. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Free stuff is awesome, but free stuff that will spice up your bedroom is even better. Just go to adamandeve.com and select almost any one item for 50% off, and then we'll load on the free stuff. Just enter this very exclusive code, BABE16 at checkout, and you'll get 10 tantalizing free gifts, including a sexy item for him, a special toy for her, and a third item you'll both enjoy. And 6 extra special bonus items that are sure to rev your engine, pique your curiosity, and even blow you away. Plus, free shipping! Always sent in discreet packaging. Go to adamandeve.com now. Get 50% off plus the 10 free gifts when you enter the exclusive offer code BABE16. That's BABE16, because without it, no free stuff. That's BABE16 at adamandeve.com.
Welcome back to Turnpike Sports. One of the hottest topics in gaming today is esports. Its growth has been just incredible. It seems like every week there's a big story about the esports industry. Our next guest has been at the forefront of this exploding market for years. Ari Fox is the creator of the Casino Esport Conference, which is being held in Las Vegas at Alexis Park this year on March 23rd and 24th. And to tell us all about it, Ari is on the line with us right now. Ari, thanks for joining us.
Oh, thanks for having me, Dave. I really appreciate it. It's nice to be back. Every year we've been pushing this narrative as I said to many people, and it is definitely a task. It's, nothing happens overnight, especially when you're trying to change an industry, which is what we're trying to do. Not for the worse, obviously, for the better.
Like you said, you've been on the show before, but refresh our listeners about yourself and about your background. I mean, how did you become involved in the esports industry?
It goes back to 2015, and or even a year or two earlier than that. I started GameCon, which was the Game Arts Conference. That's what GameCon stands for. The A stands for arts or artistry. And the idea behind of that is it's got a broad meaning and definition regarding, the artistry behind competition of esports, the artistry behind the development of the video games themselves. And coming from that place and that grassroots, understanding the cultural phenomenon that we call our industry, or at least the casino side of the industry, calls esports. And then on the other side of my career, I was in the casino business over 20 years as well, working as a consultant, outside marketing consultant for all of the casinos in Atlantic City.
Now, as I said, you're one of the creators of the Casino Esport Conference, which, by the way, is in its 6th year of operation. I want to tell everyone that. It's been an incredible 6 years. I mean, and it's such an invaluable source of information and marketing tools for those interested in esports. What was your inspiration for creating this conference? What do you hope people will get from the information you provide through this conference?
Well, our inspiration was, originally, as I said, I'm really a casino person first. I'm really in that industry first. And then, I've always loved video gaming. And then when we started our own conference for our consumer base, meaning GameCon, I saw that there was a up and coming generation of millennials and Gen Zs that, the casinos weren't really, getting as a customer. So it's almost like, I don't want to toot my own horn, but I'm sort of trying to say to the casinos, hey, listen, I'm here to save you because your numbers will drop if, and they have over a period of time. This was,
sure,
because I saw there was a big drop in 2006 when the casino industry started to, slow down. Their numbers started to decline. That was almost the peak. And then it started to go down. And that was because the main audience that casinos attract, meaning the boomer generation and some of the Gen X's, were in a decline. At least the boomer side they were literally, no offense to them, and they were dying off. Mm-hmm. And so there wasn't enough of them to come and support the type of growth that the casino markets were doing. And then, casinos opened in all over the place. So it's a massive engine, the casino industry. It's a big engine and employs, thousands and thousands of people. And in order to keep that going, there needs to be new innovation, new development, and new sources of activity and entertainment to offer to the next generation. And that's exactly why we talk about the Casino Esport Conference, because as such, the casinos definitely are gravitating to the wagering side of esports, which is natural.
Yeah.
They should definitely do that. That's their low-hanging fruit. But beyond that, as casinos way back in the day were creating, like shows and attractions, like, bringing in Beyonce to an Ocean Resort Casino or something like that, or, having a big bash, or, doing events and becoming much more of a entertainment resort. That is something we also talk about the Casino Esport Conference, because it is great that you're starting, the esports is starting and the wagering is starting, and that they've legalized it in New Jersey and, the wagering on esports. But beyond that, we now have to take more steps and look into this a little further, because esports is not the same as sports. And I'm going to say that again. Esports is not the same as sports. So we have to realize that, yes, it might be fun to put in a area or a book for esports. It is not the same kind of fan that you will find that likes sports, meaning
sure,
conventional sports. So that's something that also has to be understood. And that's what we try to teach at the CEC. And that's why we've been around for 6 years, because it takes a long time and a lot of classes for people to learn this stuff.
Now, 2021 was a big year for the gaming industry. It was important because it was kind of a bounce back year from the closures of the pandemic. How was 2021 for the esports industry? How much growth occurred for the esports market in 2021?
Well, that's a question that's asked a lot, but the truth is that it was gangbusters in the beginning because when conventional sports shut down, the only thing that was on television to wager on or to bet on was esports, but there weren't really the facility in place, the laws in place, the regulation in place, in the casino and the gambling regulators radar at the moment. So it was almost a missed opportunity. But I think that in the beginning of 2021, the video gaming and esports industry did amazingly well. And now we're talking about not just the wagering side of things, but also peer-to-peer play, which we're going to touch on at the CEC as well. And what does that mean? That's like a whole nother conversation. But just like every other industry during COVID, they did eventually. They felt the pinch because there were a lot of these companies in 2021, pre-pandemic, or even that were set up as in-person live esport competition locations, with esport venues like Allied Esport Arena, the one in Luxor that everyone talks about. Mm-hmm. Helix Esport had just built and finished their big esport center at the Patriot Stadium, Gillette Stadium.
Sure.
They have also an esports center in North Bergen. The Helix Esports. So, being that in that sense, it's like they had these places, then COVID hit, and they did get hurt mightily. So, on one hand, the online part of esports, which is where it begins and where it lives, and where it's been born, sort of for the casinos, they should understand that. The live in-person stuff, like everything else, really, really did hurt a lot of these companies. That's why, like Super League Gaming, if you look at their stock, they went down. Mm-hmm. The Esports Entertainment Group was coming out, or right before the pandemic, was going to be massive growth. They're having, some issues in the stock market on the NASDAQ exchange. Then you have Esport Technologies. That's another one. And they're all having a hard time because in order to get the people to their customer acquisition and to utilize their platforms, they really got to be out there. At the end of the day, you can become viral online, but at the end of the day, nothing beats being in person. Even a avid esport player or even an avid video game maker have told me that they have been hurting because of COVID because they haven't been able to meet people in person.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm glad you're mentioning the locations because I'm very curious. I mean, you're holding the Casino Esport Conference in Las Vegas. Is that still the hottest location for esports? I mean, if we were to pick out a mecca for esports in the United States, would Vegas still be it? Or in 2021, are there new emerging markets for esports?
There's enormous emerging markets in esports. There, Austin, Texas has a huge stadium there that is built for esports. Los Angeles and the West Coast has always had, that's where a lot of the publishers have offices like Blizzard, Activision, Riot, Valve. All these companies are out there. Epic Games, though, they have an East Coast presence. Atlantic City has been striving. They have now the Innovative Esports Center that was opened in Stockton. It's being run by Andrew Walgus. I mean, that's a huge investment into esports and to the development into southern New Jersey. Mm-hmm. So, and I'm a New Jersey guy, so like that's where I'm from. But I actually don't live there anymore. I moved, but I grew up there. I lived there for over 50 years. That's where my home is. And if I ever called someplace home, it's just everything I knew from when I was a child. It's New Jersey. You get that warm feeling like when I saw that ad on the Super Bowl about the recreation of the Sopranos ad.
Sure, yeah.
That just you're like, oh, I know those areas. It's like that means something to me because I'm a Jersey guy. So I'm rooting for Atlantic City. I hope that becomes the next Mecca. And I'm there to help out. And to try to make that happen. We're trying and looking at the moment to try to bring back GameCon to Atlantic City in a big way, and so we're excited about that. And GameCon really helps establish and open the doors for many casinos across the country. What it really does is it says, here's a place for you, gamer people. Come and play, explore, do VR, see the next technology, augmented reality. There's all kinds of things, that you can institute in a GameCon for the general public at your location, at your venue as a casino. And, that really says to the people who are gamers that there's something for them there, or that at least it's opening the door and the casino's considering doing something permanent. And it's that goes along with the entire narrative of why we have the CEC as well. So that's also where I've learned all of my abilities, and besides doing tons of research, it's where I've learned all my abilities to actually take what I've learned from speaking to actual people on the ground level, on the street level, and transfer that over to the executives at the casino levels. And I can tell you for more than most have said that casinos don't have anything for them at the moment. And I said, well, what if you could go into a casino, play a video game, and win money? They were all like, yeah, we'll be there in a heartbeat.
Now, as you said, sports betting has been a big topic for esports, especially here in New Jersey. I'm sitting here in New Jersey as well. I mean, do you see more and more states allowing betting on esports? How do we see esports and betting going forward?
It's, esports and betting is, if you go back to the inception of the arcade, when people would play in the arcades and they'd play Street Fighter or Pac-Man, it was a competition to start. So not exactly the same as obviously sports and physical stuff, but whoever had the highest score was like king of the castle. So it hasn't changed that ability to be the best and win be the best esport player that there is, or best video game player that there is. I like to say video game player because it really touches more on the culture than just the word esports. And so what I'm trying to say is that I see more states definitely adopting this. I just, there was an article that just came out this morning on CDC about a company called Odin.gg, which is an online betting platform in the Czech Republic. And I mean, this is Europe. I mean, really hasn't really banged it to the United States, but they recently announced that they've been granted permission to take bets on esports in New Jersey, Colorado, Michigan, Ontario, Canada. So, there's more and more states that are creating legal esports betting in some form. As I said, Colorado is one of them, Nevada, New Jersey, Tennessee, Virginia, West Virginia, Washington. These are all states that are looking very closely at this because they want to adopt this gambling, because if they don't, they could be missing out on a very lucrative addition to their coffers. I mean, for example, it's like if you took there's been for esports wagering, it's year-over-year growth of 14.5%. In 2021, it's estimated that there was $1.08 billion made in wagering. That was the revenue. And it's only going to grow from there. So, there's a 10% increase from the year before in 2020, from the year before that, from 2019. So this could grow to $920.3, billion or something. I mean, the growth is huge.
Yeah.
It's just there's a lot of eyeballs watching, playing, and doing stuff around esports. Mm-hmm. So this is why it's such an attraction. in my opinion, when I talk about esports, I say it's mostly a cultural phenomenon. Why do I always say that? It's because the esport fan or player is not just anyone could play and become a video gaming star. You can play and become a professional esports player. It's not the same for like at the NFL or baseball, unless you have some gifted ability, or you just completely immerse yourself and just train yourself to become the best football player, basketball player, baseball player. You have to have some God-given ability.
Yeah.
I mean, the last time I saw a guy like Muggsy Bogues play in the NFL, in the NBA, has been a long time. I don't see any guys that are 5'3" playing that much anymore. And when I do, I root for that guy, because that's somebody who you look up to, because they're going against all the odds.
Mm-hmm. You mentioned getting the ball rolling with the esports and betting. I mean, here in New Jersey, the Esports Entertainment Group is holding the first state-sanctioned peer-to-peer betting esport event called Landol at the Hard Rock Casino in Atlantic City. Do you think you'll see more and more esports events like that across the country? Do you think this will get the ball rolling?
I have, and I've been looking at that very closely, and I've been looking at their signups. I mean, we're a month out from there. They have an Eventbrite up there right now. They have about 24 followers for that event for a Madden tournament, and they're giving away $9,000 for that tournament. But if you're a month out and you have 24 people signed up, I mean, what is that really? What do you say? What does that say? I think it speaks a lot of volumes to say, and you're giving away $9,000. There should be like 300 people signed up for that thing already. I mean, I'm only looking at it from what I see on the screen, but maybe people sign up last minute, which I know that they do. Mm-hmm. But I'd love to see the numbers that come out, how many people actually go in, go through the doors for that event. In my opinion, I believe that when you're going to run an esports tournament, you really have to have a sort of circus around it.
Yeah.
That speaks to the video gaming culture. It speaks to the punter, so to speak, who will bet on esports, that they just don't want to also be wagering on esports, or they just don't want to be playing in a tournament when after their turn is done, they're just going to sit there and watch other guys play. Mm-hmm. When video gaming is, and the concept of it is, when you talk about the actual competition of it, is only like a very small piece of the puzzle. It's 10%. If you wanted to take numbers and break it down, you got 3 billion gamers worldwide, and you got 10% of those 3 billion are video game competitors, and they love to compete and play video games against one another. That's still a huge amount of people. But overall, if you're not going to even those guys that are that 10% that are competitive video game players, they still love the concept of the technology behind what they're doing. They still love that to play other things besides the game that they're really good at. Mm-hmm. They also want to play other games. It's not just it's a very multifaceted type of culture. And I mean, if you ever sat down and watched a young person, a 16-year-old or 17-year-old, they could be on their computer, on their cell phone, and playing a video game all simultaneously and talking to a friend. I mean, they don't talk on phone. Sorry, they text, or they'll do a Snapchat, they'll do a cell. I mean, it's like they have 10 arms.
Yeah.
And so how do you you have to understand the customer, and that's exactly what we do at the Casino Esport Conference. It's understanding the customer. And like I said one time at ECGC, I was at the ECGC last year in October, and it was a whole room of casino executives. They said, you got guys in rooms somewhere in offices studying all the numbers. Looking at the numbers, looking at the graphs, looking at the year-over-year profits. How much money can you make because you got this many eyeballs watching these guys play video games? But you're not it's one thing to understand that customer and say that you think you understand that customer. It's another thing to talk to them like I've done on the in the street and really get to know who they are. Mm-hmm. And so it's almost like there's lots of casinos and lots of executives and lots of companies that are doing their job, like a company like Spectrum Gaming. They're great at what they do. But the point being is that you're not getting into the dirt. You're not getting your hands dirty. You're in your ivory tower, making projections and thinking about what the industry is going to be like, but not really understanding that customer. Mm-hmm. And the reason why there's a disconnect is because the casino executives are Gen Xers. Some of them are still boomers, and they know themselves. And that's why, 20 years ago, you have, shows at the casinos. That's why you have slot machines at the casinos. That's why you have the things that the people that are running the casino industry understand because they enjoy it. Mm-hmm. So, but they don't understand what the younger person likes because they're not a younger person. So you have to be, if tomorrow all of the video gaming cultured people and all the eSport people took over the casinos. Not to say that they did, mm-hmm. not to scare anybody, but they know what they like. Yeah. So they would institute what they like in the casinos and online on the iGaming side. So they know what they like and what they enjoy. So that's what they would put in, and that's what I plan to do. If I can't convince the casinos to do it, through the Casino Esport Conference and educating them, then you know what, mm-hmm. Dave, I'm going to end up doing it myself with my brother, and and I'm not joking. And we do have a plan for GameCon beyond just the conventions themselves. And that might be something that you see in the next few years.
It's interesting. I spoke with Grant Johnson, the CEO of Esports Entertainment Group, who's holding Landul and Hard Rock, and he said he's inviting executives from other casinos across the country so he can demonstrate that casinos can monetize esports. Is that what's needed at an event like this, that you have to invite people over and show them, like, this is viable, you can monetize this for your casinos? Is that what is necessary to show casinos like that?
I think it's very necessary. I think Grant really has the right idea, but he's showing it from the monetary perspective, which makes plenty of sense. Mm-hmm. But what I'm wondering is that I'm questioning where the money's going to be made. So if I hold a tournament tomorrow, but if I'm taking wagers on it, obviously there will be. You could make money that way if you're taking wagers on the tournament. That's a professionally sanctioned tournament. So, of course, you can make money that way. Mm-hmm. How much money can you make? Well, if it's streamed over Twitch and you're collecting the money over, some esport wagering, maybe his platform like Landul or Vi.gg, then you'd be making money that way. I don't know how much. I can't tell you, if it'll be successful or not. But from looking at it from where I'm standing at 10,000 feet, I see something where you're having this event, you may get 100 people to show up to play the Madden tournament if you're lucky, or maybe 200 people, which I guess is a good amount of number. I don't think that the executives that are coming there will be that impressed with those kinds of numbers, because if they're really talking about food and beverage sales and other things that they want to make out around the actual tournament, mm-hmm. I think that might fall short there. But, it's too early to say. You have something that's happening at the Hard Rock. I think it does have legs. It's definitely not a GameCon event, which is, our biggest one we had at Ocean was like 5,000 people over a weekend. And it had the eSport tournaments inside of it. So, and everybody played and there was money given away and stuff like that. So there was a little bit more of a sort of a energy and a vibe that was going on. I can't tell you what will happen. I don't know. Madden is a small community of video gamers. I know, and every title of video gaming has its own community. Mm-hmm. Madden's community is not that large. I'm not exactly sure how big it is on the East Coast, but countrywide, the Madden community is not large. So you might have people coming in from the West Coast or the middle of the country to play in the tournament itself, and they will stay overnight and they'll buy a hotel room and they'll probably eat there, et cetera, and things like that. So there might be a little uptick there. But as far as where they're going to be making money, the only thing I could see is on the wagering, if there is wagering allowed. And these players all have to be sanctioned. But it's not to say that they can't. I think that they might. If EEG's fitting the bill to actually present and put the whole thing on, then the casino doesn't really have to pay anything. And they just, they can get revenues shared from EEG. But then again, the devil's in the details, as I speak.
Now, as I said before, you're one of the creators of the Casino Esport Conference in Las Vegas at Alexis Park this year on March 23rd and 24th. When people attend the Esport Conference in Las Vegas, what can they expect to encounter when they get there?
What they'll expect to encounter are people that are well educated. We have Blackfire Institute at UNLV that will be speaking. These are professors that are learning about the future of the casino. So many times a question's asked to many casino executives, what will the future of a casino floor look like? Mm-hmm. The answer is at the CEC, and there's a lot of people there that will answer that question.
So what are the big topics that's going to be covered? I know this is such a growing field, and it just encompassing everything nowadays about gaming and casinos and esports. What are some of the big topics you're going to cover?
Well, first and foremost, we start with esports and esports wagering. Mm-hmm. But beyond that, we talk about what is a metaverse. Does a casino need its own metaverse to attract this younger audience? There's been a lot of talk about what a metaverse is in the news. And that's something that's very valuable. It could be very valuable to a casino if they understood it. And that's something we're going to touch on. Another thing we're going to touch on is cryptocurrencies. Does that need to be implemented? Does a casino have to create their own coin? Can it create its own coin? The other things we're touching on is NFTs. Does that really make any sense in the long term? Does it make any sense in the short term if a casino wants to institute a non-fungible token? Does it have to get involved on that level? Then we're also talking about the augmented reality, virtual reality, immersive experiences. So it's an all-encompassing conference that speaks about and speaks to what needs to happen today, because it's all available today, that you can do to really turn that corner as from what the younger audiences see. And I say younger, I'm saying the average age is 35 of a video gamer. What the younger audiences see as a casino, which is being old entertainment, into reinventing itself and offering new entertainment.
I looked at the topics you're doing at the conference, and it's so timely. I want to ask you about, first off, cryptocurrency, and it's certainly becoming more and more mainstream. All you have to do is look at the commercials in the Super Bowl. I mean, what has been the effect of cryptocurrency on casinos and esports? I mean, for me, like I said, I'm sitting in New Jersey and everything's online. It seems like a match made in heaven, and it could be the future of casinos and esports. How should we be viewing cryptocurrency and gaming in the near future?
It's really funny you say that, Dave, because when you walk into a casino and you buy and you want to sit down at a table, what do you get? Mm-hmm. You get chips, right?
Yeah.
That's what a crypto is.
Yep.
It's the same thing. So it's just a digital version of a chip. Should they be looking at this? Absolutely. It's taking whatever they have. I mean, the biggest thing that came out of the casino industry, and I'm just talking exclusively the casino industry, the biggest topic at G2E last year was cashless gaming. Cashless. You go in and you don't have to take out your wallet anymore, and they're trying to get rid of cashless, and you just transfer fees from your phone to the slot machine or whatever. And that was the biggest tech that they could talk about.
Yeah.
Last year. I mean, cashless, really? How long has cashless been around? I mean, it's like, I go in the supermarket, I can tap my credit card on a machine, and I've paid for my groceries. I mean, we're talking about an industry that's in sore need of like completely being updated and revamped into bringing them into the 21st century. And so, do I think that crypto has a future in the gambling industry? Absolutely, because when you talk about crypto, you're also talking about blockchain technology. Mm-hmm. Blockchain technology is absolutely the ledger that activates and clearly states without a doubt whether someone is what bet they've took, what is their payout, and it keeps track of everything automatically. Yeah. And it's all there. So, the transfer of that crypto, if decided that a casino wants to create their own crypto and their own coin, is just genius. It makes so much sense that, you could create, and then maybe you want, let's say Caesars has their own crypto, and you have crypto in Caesars, but you want to use that coin to go to Bally's. So you go to Bally's and they just transfer that. Now there's an exchange program. So how much you get in that exchange? Bally's will exchange their coin for the casino, for the Caesars coin. And then there's also the opportunity for blockchain to allow to help people with responsible gaming. Knowing your customer is very important. And that all happens down on the blockchain. Knowing when your customer's is wagering too much or is gambling too much. And you can stop them. You could say, here, look at this ledger on the blockchain that said, you were betting above what your means were. We can't allow that. We don't want you to be destitute. We want to make sure that it's complete regulation when you have the ability to use the blockchain and crypto. It just makes so much sense.
I'm glad you're also tackling NFTs. I mean, I can't do an interview nowadays without mentioning NFTs. I just did an interview with Paddy Power and his new gaming platform. He said he's gamifying NFTs. In the future, how do you see the relationship between esports, casinos, NFTs as we move forward in these next couple of years?
Well, the question is, how do you see, when you want to get a signed T-shirt from Joe Namath?
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to be in a basketball tournament and the prize is a signed T-shirt or signed jersey from Joe Namath or a signed jersey from Joe Barrow, I mean, yeah. Oh, yeah. It's like that's a piece of memorabilia that's going to be worth something someday. The same goes for an NFT. And then, on the flip side of it, the NFT is a digital memorabilia or digital piece of memorabilia. Mm-hmm. Does it really have the same value as something that ages? Well, I'm a Gen Xer, so I look at NFTs and I go, yeah, it makes a lot of sense.
Sure.
But it doesn't. But an NFT will never age. So you don't have. Does that? Or does it age? The question is, it's a digital version, but, obviously it doesn't age the same way as an old baseball that was signed by Babe Ruth. But it does age in a way that, it will, year after year, how old is your NFT? It's 5 years old, but does that even matter? Because it's still digital. It doesn't show wear and tear of an aged memorabilia because it's digital. So, in my opinion, it's awesome to have a piece of memorabilia like that. But then on the other side, it's like, well, I have a copy of that NFT, although I don't own it. But I have a copy of it, and it looks exactly like the NFT. So the question is, does NFTs have value? I believe that they do to a certain extent. But on the flip side of it, they also, there's also an argument to be said or to be had that says, they don't really have value. So it's still, I think the jury's still out on that. But when you if you want to compare NFTs, which is obviously a digital piece of art, to like a skin that you can use in a video game, and now we're talking apples and oranges. A skin itself is something that you can utilize, meaning like some kind of weapon or rifle that's digital rifle or weapon, or some type of armor. That in itself has some use and some ability to use to win a game. An NFT is just a piece of artwork or a piece of memorabilia that may not have any ability to utilize that piece of art or piece of memorabilia to do something and to win a game or something like that in the video gaming world, as I related to that. But if you wanted to say that, like, you were giving away an NFT as a prize for an esports competition, and the value of it is, $5,000, that only $5,000 of that NFT is only worth it because that's what the community says it's worth. So, it's very objective. You know what I'm saying?
I'm also glad at the Casino Esport Conference is you're tackling the concept of the metaverse. I mean, you're having a panel called Metaverse. How will it affect brick and mortar casinos and their online platforms? It's such a new term that people are just starting to hear about. What should people in gaming and the esports industry know about the metaverse, and how do you think the industry will change given the new digital platforms that are rising in the industry?
Well, the metaverse, I think, is, if you want to capture a younger audience, you're definitely going to have, every casino is going to have their own metaverse. I'm trying to get a guy that works for a company called Decentraland to come and speak. And what those are literal cities that have been recreated in the virtual world. And so some of them have already casinos in them. I don't necessarily know if they're regulated or not, or if they're licensed or not, but, there's another dimension, virtual dimension, that will be an opportunity for there to be revenue made in a metaverse. So do I feel that the metaverses are important? Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. From an entertainment perspective and from a money-making perspective. I mean, metaverses have been around for a while. Sure. There was something called Extra Life, or not Extra Life. It happened in 2007, 2006. Second Life. Mm-hmm. Second Life was developed back, even around 2010. It was like a virtual world that you can go into, and it's been around for a while. But it's only getting more traction now because of the ability of there being value in the metaverse. So NFTs being built in the metaverse, those have value in a lot of words. So if you can use, for example, you create a digital room. Think of a school or a museum that builds a room in the physical sense, and then it's named after somebody. Well, that person paid for that room to be built or that building to be built. The same goes along with the virtual world as well. So if someone pays for a room to be built, their name is on that. They own that room. They own that. It's theirs. That's an NFT. So that's something else. So now we're talking about actual virtual real estate. And there's nothing more exciting to a casino than when you talk about real estate. Yeah, right. I mean, when you tell them, oh, I want to put a console for video gamers on your floor, it's like, well, how much is that 2 by 2 foot square space going to be making money for me? And what is the real estate value? Because when they build these massive casinos, it's all about, selling that real estate or getting back that return on the investment on that real estate location. And that's what the metaverse offers. And now it's something that's digital. It's something they really should be looking into because it's such it's so up their alley when they're talking about money. Mm-hmm. And that's why at the CEC, we want to discuss that because that's a big, I have a feeling they may go toward the metaverse before they even go towards esports wagering.
Ari, we're running out of time, but can you tell people where they can register for the Casino Esport Conference, which is being held in Las Vegas at Alexis Park this year on March 23rd and 24th?
Yes, you could go to Casino Esport, no S, CONF.com and register there to get your tickets for the Casino Esport Conference. This is something I don't think anyone should miss, especially now that we're coming out of this pandemic, because we have a new world. It is a new normal. And if you don't adapt now, you're not going to be around for a few more years. You'll see your numbers drop and your stockholders are not going to be happy. So it's time to change. It's time to make that investment. It's time to adapt and really come into the 21st century. We have a lot of change that has happened over the last 3 years. And the CEC has the answers for how you need to grow your business. So the event is CEC. It's March 23rd and 24th in Las Vegas. And you can find all the information on Casino Esport CONF.com. So that's Casino Esport Conf CONF.com. And, register today, because I'm telling you, the tickets are we only have a limited amount of space, but a lot of people are coming to this, and it's going to be a very exciting year this year.
Ari Fox, creator of the Casino Esport Conference, which is being held in Las Vegas at Alexis Park this year on March 23rd and 24th. Thanks a lot for coming on and talking about the conference. It's always such an important event for the esports and casino industry. So, as always, thanks for joining us and telling us all about it.
Thank you so much, Dave, for having me. I wish the industry and the esports industry all the luck, and let's make some money in the future.
Sounds good. Stick around. We'll be right back. Stick around. We'll be right back.
Thanks for having me.
Oh, it's always great to have you. Stick around. We'll be right back with more Turnpike Sports.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Auto Accident Help Desk is a marketing agency connecting callers with attorneys. Providers pay a fee for advertising services.
I love getting my kids ready and driving them to school.
But a careless driver can change your life in an instant, and insurance companies want to settle on the cheap. Auto Accident Help Desk connects victims with powerful lawyers. They fight for you.
I called Auto Accident Help Desk and got help for my pain and suffering.
Don't let an insurance company take advantage of you. Our attorneys fight and beat big insurance every day.
Call 800-297-9766. 800-297-9766.
If you've been injured in an automobile accident in the last 6 months, you owe it to yourself to make this free call with no obligation. We're available 24/7 to help you get the money you deserve for your pain and suffering. Auto Accident Help Desk helps accident victims like you every day.
Call 800-297-9766. 800-297-9766. 800-297-9766.
And By the Numbers is sponsored by Play Sugar House Online Casino and Sportsbook in New Jersey. Sign up at playsugarhouse.com/Pike and get a first deposit match of up to $250. Enjoy the casino experience online. Play Sugar House offers over 400 games online, slots, table games, hey, even bingo. It's like being in a casino without leaving your home. That's playsugarhouse.com/Pike to get your first deposit match of up to $250 today. Must be 21 years or older and physically present in New Jersey. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit 800gambler.org.
And welcome to this week's edition of By the Numbers, where I am going to be throwing out a number or a statistic or some sort of figure that relates to the sports betting and gaming industries. I'm going to let Dave take a shot at guessing what we're going to be talking about.
I never get these. Although last week I did get it, and I remember it because I rarely get these things. And was it last week? The number you gave me was 2,222, which sticks in my head because it's all twos, and that was the world record chip collection, casino chip collection, right?
Yes, it was.
That was last week.
That was
okay.
the person from the Casino Collectibles Association.
So I just want to point out that I get them once in a while, rarely, but I'm really bad at this.
I have to admit, you don't see too many Guinness World Records for casino chips being reported, first of all. No. Number two, I don't really think
that's why they're
news. Too much.
That's why they're news.
And he had some nice collection. He had nice chips in his collection. I remember seeing some video, and it was actually really, really interesting the way he had it all set up.
Yeah.
He's going to be displaying that one at the Casino Collectibles Association's what do they call it? The show in Las Vegas.
I didn't even know there was a show.
I had to think of the name for it.
I don't even know there's a show.
I didn't want to just call it a show, but it is a show in Las Vegas that they do every year.
There's a show for everything in Las Vegas.
Well, we're going to get moving on to this one. We've got three numbers, actually two numbers, and one number is going to be reused because it means different things in different areas.
See, I know definitely I'm not going to get it, but go ahead.
Well,
give me your best shot. I'll give it my best shot. So.
We're going to start off 69,372.
I'm not even going to pretend I'm thinking about it. I have no idea.
Well, take a shot.
Well, we just had the
I'll narrow it down.
had the Super Bowl.
I'll narrow it down.
Okay.
It's not a dollar number.
Okay. Did I say it was a dollar number?
No.
Okay. I have no idea. I mean, does it have something to do with the Super Bowl? We just got done with the Super Bowl.
Yes, it has something to do with the Super Bowl. All right.
Okay.
Just because we could be
doing this all day. Yeah. Boy.
GeoComply has reported that people in Missouri made 69,372 attempts to access legal online sportsbooks in Illinois during Super Bowl weekend.
See, that's amazing. I mean, that's shocking. I mean, I guess they kind of had to figure that a lot of people out of state would be trying to log on and make bets, but I think these people are now realizing the geolocation technology is so great that they know where you are. They probably know who you are too. So don't try and bet out of state.
Well, the one thing I like with
Crazy.
GeoComply, when GeoComply releases numbers like this, they always come out with a map. And in the map, they have red and green pinpoints.
They know exactly where you are. They know exactly. And you probably had to register, so they probably know your name too.
It's some sort of
they
weird
know where you are.
It's a weird triangulation. Yeah, it's
don't even try.
It's one of those things where a lot of people wanted to bet on the Super Bowl,
so,
and I'm assuming since Missouri is now in the process of examining different proposals for online sports betting.
Yeah. So Missouri people living in Missouri tried to access Illinois' mobile sports betting platforms.
Yes, people over the border.
Ah, boy.
But again, they're testing the fence.
Yeah, that's a big number too. 69,000.
I thought it was kind of a small number.
Really?
For the Super Bowl in Missouri. I mean, I remember when Louisiana launched their mobile sports betting. GeoComply came out with the report that they had people in both Mississippi and Texas trying to log into the online sports books in Louisiana and place bets. They failed, but they tried.
So what officially happens? I guess they get notification that you're not within the border of Illinois, so you can't place a bet. Anything else happen to them other than you can't make a bet, and here's an email saying why you can't make a bet, and that's it?
Normally what happens is you get a statement from the online sportsbook saying you're not in a location to place a bet, or when you fill out the betting slip online, usually when you're not able to place a bet, the bet or confirm bet or make bet light does not go on.
I would bet you a lot of people didn't even get to that point because in New Jersey anyway, when you log into a sportsbook, a mobile sportsbook, they have to verify your location before you do anything. So some of them are like that. So I'm
some
curious,
are, some aren't.
I'm curious to see how what was the process like and how far people got in the process of placing a bet.
Well, staying in the same vein, that leads us to the next number.
Okay.
26. 26. And I just gave you a huge hint, staying in the same vein.
Oh, okay. Was it people betting on out-of-state people who are out of state using another state's betting platforms? Is that where is that the same vein kind of thing?
Same vein. This is the number reported by DraftKings. It's the percentage of bettors betting on the Super Bowl in New Hampshire that had Massachusetts addresses.
And what they're saying also, but these people bet legally.
They were legal. They were legal.
They traveled to New Hampshire from Massachusetts,
right?
Which, by the way, is why New York wanted mobile sports betting. You know, a lot of people from New York were traveling to New Jersey to place bets on the mobile sports books in New Jersey, and they were losing lots of money. So, Massachusetts, you're losing lots of money.
Well, they're losing lots of money not only to New York and New Hampshire, but they got Connecticut and Rhode Island as well.
Yeah, you're losing lots of money without get sports betting.
I'm very
get
curious.
Retail sports betting, get mobile sports betting, get online casinos. You're losing a lot of money to a lot of states.
If GeoComply has this information, I'm very curious to see the percentage of bettors from Massachusetts in the surrounding states, Connecticut, Rhode Island, New York, and New Hampshire, to see exactly how much Massachusetts is losing. Because Massachusetts still will not legalize sports betting. And it doesn't make sense looking at what's going on. Even if they do something crazy like New Hampshire, New York, and even Arkansas is going to be doing 51%.
By the way, Massachusetts is the corporate headquarters for DraftKings. So, get sports betting.
Well, you got to remember, DraftKings also advertises on the radio, which in Massachusetts.
For fantasy. Fantasy.
They also do sports betting because the signals do stretch into the surrounding states.
Sure. I understand.
I mean, you can see DraftKings advertising on, what's that one up there?
WEEI.
That has 7 stations.
Yeah.
And that's throughout New England. So
by the way, DraftKings has a monopoly in New Hampshire. They are it. They are it in New Hampshire because they are the only sports book operating in New Hampshire. So good for DraftKings.
And going to the last number of the segment, same number, different meaning. 26.
All right. I'm lucky. Hey, do I get credit for getting that last one? You kind of helped me along on that one.
I'll give you half credit.
Okay. So I kind of partially got one. This 26, I have no idea.
This is FanDuel's market share of the online gaming and online sports betting markets in the U.S. in 2021.
That's pretty good, 26%. Huh?
Yes,
wow.
That's a great percentage.
Wow, that's pretty good.
BetMGM was second.
Okay,
22% share.
A little surprising. I would think DraftKings that we were just talking about would be second.
DraftKings had 20%, right behind them.
So what is it? It's FanDuel, BetMGM, DraftKings. Okay.
And if you want to look at a bigger segment, FanDuel, BetMGM, DraftKings, and the BetRivers Sugar House, or Play Sugar House, I don't know how they want to phrase it, Rush Street Interactive.
Okay.
They're a sports betting platform. I don't know how else to phrase that. Had a combined 76% share of the U.S. online gambling market in 2021.
That's surprising with Sugar House. But let me tell you something. I drive up to Boston. I have to go through Connecticut, which just got sports betting. And I see Sugar House signs everywhere. I mean, they are I wonder how much of the market share they have just in Connecticut. But I'm pretty impressed with what Sugar House is doing in Connecticut.
Well, imagine what happens when the XL Center becomes a sports book.
Yeah.
Or launches its sports book.
Yeah.
It's not becoming a sports book.
Yeah, in Hartford. Yeah.
And that's going to be run by the lottery, which is Play Sugar House.
Yeah, okay.
So you may see a lot more Play Sugar House advertising in Connecticut. But again, that's kind of interesting that 76% for those 4. I really thought Caesars would have been a little higher, or at least in that 76%.
I'm going by what's in New Jersey that we see a lot of the commercial for. Caesars is everywhere. PointsBet is everywhere. I'm surprised PointsBet's not up there a lot. But, interesting.
Well, you got to remember, Caesars led New York in January.
Oh, Caesars owns
New
Jersey and New Jersey and New York. Well, I see Caesars on buses, billboards, radio, TV ads everywhere.
Well, you got to remember, right now after their earnings call, Caesars announced that they're pulling back a lot of their traditional advertising.
Well, yeah.
They've already achieved what they wanted to achieve, according to their CEO. So
the numbers are incredible.
You're going to see a lot less advertising.
Okay.
For Caesars, anyway.
Well, we got a Beatin the House segment coming up right after this, so stick around. We'll be right back with more Turnpike Sports.
Is your bathroom looking old and worn out? Want to update it, but you don't know where to start? Then let BCI Bath & Shower show you how to turn that old bath into an aisle of beauty and functionality. Our residential bathroom solutions provide the best value on the market, and our customer service is second to none. Our cost-effective BCI Bath & Shower family of products has what you need.
Remodeling our bathroom was a big decision for us.
They didn't make a mess out of our house at all. And at the end of the day, we had a beautiful new bathroom. And it was a great experience the whole way through.
We have the best monthly payment programs in the industry, with payments as low as $68 per month or no interest, no payments for 18 months. That's right. Get the bathroom of your dreams now and pay for it in 2021. Call 1-800-308-8291 for a free no-obligation price quote. That's 1-800-308-8291. When you want quality bathroom products at a great price, it's got to be BCI Bath & Shower. That's 1-800-308-8291.
Attention. Here is something big banks don't want you to know about your IRA or 401k. You can store your retirement savings where you can actually see, touch, and hold it in your hands. With a Paradigm Gold or Silver IRA, you can transfer a portion of your savings to physical gold and silver coin and store them where you can see them. The stock market is close to its all-time high, and your retirement might be at risk again. but you can trust Paradigm Gold Group to help.
Call 800-417-3932. 800-417-3932.
Paradigm Gold Group is a gold IRA leader, rated A+ by the Better Business Bureau, where gold and silver has been in the family business for over 40 years. Call for your free guide to Paradigm's Gold IRA. Protect your retirement savings today with Paradigm.
Call 800-417-3932. 800-417-3932.
It's a casino. People gotta win sometime.
Now, if you'll excuse me, I have a giant, colorful check to deposit.
Beatin The House is brought to you by BetMGM Casino. Play your favorite casino games at BetMGM Online Casino. Slots, table games, live dealer games, everything you love about Atlantic City and Vegas, all online at BetMGM. Don't wait. Join in the fun now. Go to BetMGM Casino, create an account using our promo code Turnpike, and become a verified player. New players get $25 free when signing up, plus a first deposit bonus up to $1,000. That's promo code Turnpike at BetMGM.com for a 100% deposit match up to $1,000 plus $25 free. Grab a lion's share of the fun at BetMGM.com. Must be 21 years or older to place a bet. Terms and conditions apply. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
And welcome to this week's edition of Beatin The House, where we're going to go through the slot jackpots, bingo, online casino, lottery. And welcome to this week's Beatin The House, where we're going to be talking about all the different casino wins, the slot jackpots, poker jackpots, basically any kind of win for the patron of the casino industry, gaming industry.
Hey, I heard there was a big jackpot in Boston. I'm not sure if you have that on your list.
I have it.
You have it, okay.
I have it.
Is that the first jackpot for Boston?
We had one. We had one.
We did have
2
one
weeks ago.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. I didn't know that.
It's kind of interesting the way.
I didn't know that. I was probably in on the segment.
Yes, you were. You were there,
and I didn't even know it.
You were there when we were
All
talking.
right. Yeah,
so,
it really affected me.
Yes.
It changed my life.
Well, the one thing I noticed about Boston, and maybe it's because they're still new to all this with the casino industry.
Relatively
I
new.
hate to say it this way. They don't announce their jackpots right. Or at least Encore Boston Harbor.
I think
I might as well talk about it now. Encore Boston Harbor seems to have issues with announcing jackpots.
Oh.
They don't seem to announce what the game is. They don't seem to announce, when
well, we found out what the game was.
You dig around, yeah.
Well, you have to. Well, the way I found out was I think I follow them on Facebook, and it popped up on Facebook. Oh, okay. And I had to look down on the comments to see what the game was. Yeah, to see what the game was.
Again,
but it was a huge jackpot. I got to tell you, man.
I'll tell you what it was right now.
Yeah.
One of the players, Denisha, did not say where she was from, whether she was a local Massachusetts player or out of state, won $722,658 playing what we found out to be a side bet from the blackjack tables.
Wow.
It was the Super 4 progressive jackpot that she won. No word on how much she bet either.
Man, people are winning huge amounts on these side bet things, which, if people listen, know I'm trying to understand Pai Gow poker.
Pai Gow is all side bets.
And, I kind of want to figure out the game to begin with before I start figuring out side bets, but the big part of the game is the side bets. So,
there's two games going on, really.
Yeah, I guess so.
If you want to put it that way.
Yeah, the game within the game, huh? Okay.
If you want to call it that. I wasn't going to call it that. I was just saying
right.
they're two different games. So I wasn't going to be that metaphysical with that kind of statement.
Yeah, well, I'm working on my Pai Gow poker.
Well, we're going to go from Boston, Massachusetts now to the West Coast. We're going to go to Las Vegas for a couple of jackpots to announce. We have two at Caesar's Palace to talk about.
Wow, okay.
All in the same day.
Whoa, all right.
We have a Philip Mitchell of Peabody, Massachusetts.
By the way,
great segue going from Boston Harbor to...
It's pronounced Peabody.
Peabody,
not Peabody.
Peabody was the dog that went with...
it's spelled the same way.
Tuxedo
it's spelled the same way, but it's Peabody.
It was Mr. Peabody, the time-traveling penguin or something. But Philip Mitchell of Peabody, Massachusetts, hit a jackpot of more than $117,000 after playing for about 30 minutes.
Wow, great.
On Ultimate Texas Hold'em.
Wow, congratulations.
He was at Caesar's Palace to celebrate his birthday.
Wow, happy birthday, Philip. Is that I get his name right? Philip, yes.
Philip. Yeah. And later in the same day, playing Ultimate Texas Hold'em again.
Wow. Okay.
Kyle Johnson of Eagle Mountain, Utah. You're going to have change the pronunciation of Eagle Mountain?
No, Eagle Mountain.
Is it Peabody there, too?
No, Eagle Mountain. It's Eagle Mountain.
He walked over to Caesars from the Cromwell while he was staying to gamble. And he hit the mega progressive jackpot of over $779,000 at the same table.
Oh, wow. Okay.
For playing for 30 minutes as usual.
Right.
As it was there, too.
Just stick it out for 30 minutes.
Yeah,
and
I guess that's the key to winning an Ultimate Texas Hold'em. That's the table game. That's not an actual poker game. Staying in Vegas, we are going over to the Fremont Hotel and Casino. This happened on Tuesday. The TWOS.
Oh, okay, wait.
February 22nd, 2022.
2-2, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I
guess that's a lucky day or something. I know a lot of people got married on 2-2-2-2-2 because I guess it's luck.
The amount of lottery promotions
I
got
really?
on
All right.
Tuesday, 2-2-2-2, whatever, however you want to say it.
So it was a big day in lottery, huh?
It was a big day for a lucky guest from Hawaii visiting the Fremont Hotel and Casino.
Mm-hmm.
The winner, who asked to remain anonymous, was playing on the Wheel of Fortune Gold Spin Deluxe Triple Star slot machine.
Another Wheel of Fortune slot win, huh?
Boy,
they just giving away money with the Wheel of Fortune.
A $1.25 bet.
$1.25, all right.
At 12:30 a.m.
Okay.
And the guest won $275,717
on a $1.25 bet. Wow.
Right. Well, I took
Way
a look.
To go.
I took a look at this slot machine.
All right.
I went over to IGT's website. They have an entire page of Wheel of Fortune slot machines, and this one has a lot of different bonus features and a lot of different special features that get unlocked when you hit certain symbols, and that actually does a 5 times multiplier. There's a 10 times multiplier as well. So he could have hit any of those.
Yeah, wow.
And it's a very unique game that they have with that.
$1.25, huh?
$1.25.
Unbelievable.
$275,717.
That's my kind of bet. That's
yes.
my kind of bet. I like that. Yeah.
Well, staying in Vegas for our 4th jackpot, we have the South Point Hotel and Casino has an unidentified winner hitting a $68,000 343 jackpot on the Pie Gal Progressive.
Wow.
There's your Pie Gal.
Yeah, it's my Pie Gal. Yeah.
Still
learning, huh?
It's weird because every week we're either talking about an NFT or a Pie Gal jackpot,
yeah, right.
which is kind of
that's probably why
unusual.
I wanted to learn the game, because you were talking about Pie Gal so much in this segment. I was like, hey, let me try it out. New Jersey has online casinos, and you can play Pie Gal anytime you want. I could be playing Pie Gal right now, but hey, it's one of those things where I'm hearing about it and I want to learn it.
See, now,
a lot of money being made.
Now that you mentioned this, I'm curious to see exactly what what types of side bets the different online casinos offer on Pie Gal, because all of them offer Pie Gal.
I've never played it live. I've only played it online.
I'm talking about online. I'm talking about the online. So, if they all have different side bets?
I don't know.
Well, we just mentioned online casinos. We're going to an online casino.
All right.
Twin Spires Casino in Pennsylvania.
We're hearing a lot about Twin Spires, a lot of jackpots at Twin Spires.
We've had several from Michigan, several from Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
This is the latest from Pennsylvania. Lisa W. is celebrating a $172,492 win on the Black Diamond slot game.
I've heard of that one. I probably heard of it from here.
I don't know if we've actually done a Black Diamond.
I kind of remember hearing that name, Black Diamond.
Black Diamond it looks like a classic real slot machine with the different pay lines crisscrossing around the screen.
Okay.
She actually bagged the jackpot, which was a progressive.
All right.
She hit 3 Black Diamond symbols in a row.
Wow. Okay.
And according to her, this is what she told Twin Spires PR people, she's won jackpots before. But never this big on Twin Spires.
Wow. Well, good for her.
Yes.
Congratulations, Lisa W.
We're moving over to another online site, America's Card Room.
Okay, that's a poker thing, right?
It's a poker thing, but they also have a casino.
Okay, all right.
And I'm only including this. It's a U.S.-facing poker site that has a casino along with it.
So they're not really licensed in the U.S.?
They're not licensed.
Okay.
They're under sweepstakes law or something like that. But We're going to be talking about the casino side, where one of their players racked up $750,000 in net winnings in January.
Wow. So this wasn't at one sitting.
No.
Okay, this is over a month. Okay.
Yes. According to America's Card Room, the player was playing Jackpot Bank.
I have no idea
That's
what that
the only
is.
game that this person was playing.
Okay. Was that a slot machine or something like that?
Machine.
Okay. All right.
And it actually has different banking symbols as the on the reels. You know, this person hit 4 credit card symbols to win the first $14,000 that she won. Then she had 2 more bonus spins from this same sitting, and she won another $150,000.
Wow.
And then she had another sitting where she had $2,250, and then hit more money on the bonus spin. So it was kind of a cumulative win.
Okay. That was one hell of a month.
It was a very good month. By the end of the month, this player had accumulated $750,000 in net winnings. No words on what she was betting.
Okay.
But it's a good story.
Yeah, absolutely.
Going down to South Carolina, we have a lottery story. This was a second look at a lottery ticket, resulted in a jackpot for an upstate South Carolina couple. And I'm not saying it's upstate South Carolina. The town is called Upstate.
Okay. All right.
The Upstate South Carolina.
Upstate. That's the name of a town.
That's the name of the town. The couple thought they had won $500 on the $3 Lady Jumbo Bucks crossword game. I looked at the game. It's actually kind of cool. It's actually a crossword where you get the letters, you scratch off the letters, and you see what you won. They took a look at it. They said they thought they won $500. 30 minutes later, they took a closer look at it, and they found that they had 11 words winning the $100,000 jackpot for the game.
Wow. Okay.
So a second look actually allowed them to do a major jackpot there. And, of course, with all lottery tickets, the store got a commission of $1,000 for the win.
Oh, that's good.
So that was, what, 1%?
I think so.
And last but not least, we have the North Carolina Lottery. We've done a lot of North Carolina lottery stories. We've got Gordell Waller had a call from his wife where she was screaming into the phone that they had won the lottery. And the reason I've included this is Mr. Waller's comment to the lottery officials. She just screamed and screamed and screamed and hasn't stopped yet.
Well, how much did he win?
They won half of the $470,978 Cash 5 jackpot.
Wow.
So they have
I wouldn't stop screaming either. Good for her.
After taxes, they brought home $167,222. That's half of the major jackpot. The North Carolina Lottery is still looking for the winner of the other half.
Oh, okay.
So they have. By the time this airs, maybe they've got it.
Yeah, maybe.
They've got 180.
I hope so.
They've got 180 days to get the prize from the lottery lottery division. But right now, the other half is still unclaimed.
Okay. Well, the book report is next, so stick around. We'll be right back with more Turnpike Sports.
The IRS is the most powerful collection agency in the world.
I couldn't sleep. We were being audited.
They do not give up until you pay.
They put a lien on my house.
How about you? Do you owe back taxes? Call Tax Solutions now and get some help. For a limited time, the IRS offers a tax forgiveness program called the Fresh Start Initiative. Our team can make it easier for you to pay back taxes, avoid tax liens, and get a fresh start. Sometimes you just need a second chance.
I call Tax Solutions now, and they got the IRS off my back.
At Tax Solutions Now, our affiliates are all accredited by the Better Business Bureau and members of the National Association of Tax Professionals.
We saved our home and overcame the most powerful collection agency in the world.
Time is running out. Call Tax Solutions now. Call 800-299-1132. 800-299-1132. 800-299-1132. 800-299-1132.
The Turnpike Sports Book Report.
The Turnpike Sports Book Report is brought to you by BorgataSports.com. Your favorite casino is now your favorite sportsbook. Available anywhere in New Jersey, BorgataSports.com. Sign up at BorgataSports.com using our promo code PIKE, that's P-I-K-E. Make your first wager of $20 or more and you'll get $100 in free bets. That's $100 in free bets when your first wager on Borgata Sports is $20 or more. Get into the action with BorgataSports.com. Must be 21 years or older and in New Jersey to place a bet. Terms and conditions apply. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
And welcome to this week's Turnpike Sports Book Report. This is for the week ending February 25th, just so people can follow along with the stories we're going to be talking about. We've got a bunch of state records to hit for this week's episode. We've got a few more Super Bowl figures, and we got a few still New York Nuggets for sports betting.
New York constantly making news in the sports betting world.
Plus, we got a bunch of deals to talk about and some legislation if we have time to hit those.
Okay.
Let's start off with some of the records because we have the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania and Louisiana both reporting some record numbers here. We have Commonwealth of Pennsylvania setting a record high monthly sports betting total handle of $793.7 million in January. State also has a record monthly online handle of $737.4 million.
I wonder how much of that is NFL playoffs. I bet you a lot of it is.
I wonder how much of that is Super Bowl.
Well, Super Bowl was February 13th, so I know leading up to the Super Bowl will probably be a lot of future bets, but no, I think a lot of that's playoff.
Again, Pennsylvania is one of those states where online is king. They had almost 93% of their total handle from online betting.
See, that's incredible for me. New Jersey is like that too, but New Jersey, we have our sports books and our casinos at the extreme top and at the extreme bottom of our state. So a lot of people like us, it takes an hour to get to the Meadowlands, an hour to get to Atlantic City. So, we depend on online sports betting. But, Pennsylvania's casinos are pretty much spread out. Yeah. So I'm surprised.
Well, again,
Pennsylvania's huge too.
That's the thing. Pennsylvania's got a lot of yardage to cover.
Yeah.
And, it's kind of interesting that they've also been setting a lot of iGaming records, that state. Every month they report their online gaming segment, not just the sports betting, but the online gaming, the online casino segment, online poker, is actually pretty impressive.
Oh, no, it's great. No, I love Pennsylvania.
Well, we've got another sports betting state reporting a record number. We have Louisiana.
I know nothing about Louisiana. So
you know where it is.
I know where it is, okay. But I know about their sports betting scene. I have no clue about.
Well, their sports betting scene grew the last 4 days in January. They had mobile sports betting launch.
Yeah.
But they set a record handle in terms of retail sports betting. They had a total retail handle of $49.3 million. That's the new record for sports betting, retail sports betting in the state since it launched in October. As a matter of fact, it launched on Halloween.
Louisiana is weird. I mean, they have different parishes, which are counties in any other state. Certain counties don't allow mobile sports betting. So it's weird. The geolocation has to be amazing in that state because, you can live in a county that allows sports betting, then the next county over doesn't allow sports betting in mobile sports betting. So it's a very interesting state. I'm not sure I know which counties allow sports betting and which don't allow sports betting.
Well, remember, when
I keep calling them counties, I guess parishes. They're parishes. But, for sake of people listening, they're all intents and purposes counties.
Well, much more impressive for Louisiana. Like I said, they launched mobile sports betting towards the end of the month, and they only had 4 days of mobile sports betting.
Yeah.
And a lot of this had to do probably with the Super Bowl. They had, in 4 days, $40 million in mobile sports betting handle.
That's pretty good.
That's rivaling some of the bigger states out there. I think Arizona rivals. It could give New York a run for its money if you think about it.
Statewide, mobile sports betting isn't allowed statewide. It's different parishes. So it's interesting to see how that is split up.
Well, those were two of the states that reported record handles, record numbers for the month of January. Mm-hmm. Got a couple New York Nuggets to hit.
Oh, New York, okay.
We have, according to the New York Times, they had a story on it, more than $2.4 billion in bets through February 13th.
I saw that story in the New York Times. It's absolutely astounding.
What was
What
interesting,
New York is doing is incredible.
They did not separate the Super Bowl out from their normal weekly reporting.
Okay.
The week of the Super Bowl, $472 million in handle. That's not separating out anything to do with the Super Bowl.
Okay.
DraftKings for Super Bowl Sunday, 1.7 million active users on its platforms.
In New York, right?
No, all over.
Oh, okay.
1.7 million active users for the Super Bowl.
All right.
Moments before kickoff, they actually had this report. 21,000 bets per minute were placed.
Okay. It's amazing how they can track that, but you have to track it because that's how you do your business. But that's just incredible.
New York is blowing my mind most of the time with their numbers. Very impressive. New York's online sports books, get this, average $69.6 million in bets per day over the 24 days from January 8th launch through the end of January.
No, it's population density. That's what does it.
That's why everybody wanted mobile sports betting in New York. It just makes sense to continue to see exactly what's going on. And that's not even with everyone launched yet.
Yeah, well, let me tell you something. That's why New Jersey was freaked out when we heard that New York was launching their mobile sports betting. We were going to lose a lot of revenue from New Yorkers coming over the bridge to bet in New Jersey. But let me tell you something. New Jersey just broke a state handle record. So I guess it really it didn't have that big an effect, I guess, in New Jersey. I guess we have to wait and see.
If you think about it, New Jersey is keeping pace.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, as long as
it's not as bad as New Jersey thought it would be.
No.
Okay.
And it's not as good as taking away from New Jersey as New York probably thought it was going to be.
Wow.
I mean, you still have a lot of people crossing over back and forth. And the fact that both states do not allow in-state college betting allows for the crisscross.
Yeah.
And I think that once one of these states figures out, let's allow in-state college betting, that's when you're going to see a difference in the numbers.
One thing New Jersey also has that New York doesn't is online casinos and online poker. So we're still getting that crowd coming over from New York.
That's going to change at some point.
Yeah, I'm sure it will.
Out of the states that reported Super Bowl handles, Nevada still has the highest so far.
Okay.
Nevada had $179.8 million in handle on the Super Bowl alone. New Jersey and Pennsylvania were 2 and 3. Illinois was number 4. New Jersey had $143.7 million.
Okay.
Pennsylvania, $68 million. And Illinois came in with $60.5 million on the Super Bowl.
Okay.
So we're still getting some Super Bowl numbers coming in. But again, it's kind of interesting that New York still hasn't separated out the Super Bowl yet. I wonder if they're going to be doing that at a later date.
Look, they're brand new at it, so who knows how they're going to report.
Yeah, they are brand new.
Who knows how they're going to report?
I am very curious about Arizona.
Yeah.
Arizona is going to be a fun one to see their January numbers for.
Okay.
So, I wonder if they're going to break $1 billion in a month.
We're into almost March, and we still don't have Arizona's numbers yet.
For January.
Oh, God.
We got their other ones.
All right, okay, but
they're getting there. They're getting there.
Boy, I wish every state would just put their numbers out all at once, so we can actually look at them and analyze them and see how everyone's doing.
Well, you got to remember
who's the one that's really behind. Which state is really behind?
Well, Illinois is about 90 days behind.
Yeah, okay, yeah, Illinois, yeah.
But they actually released their Super Bowl numbers.
Oh, okay.
So they were ahead of the game for just the one.
Way to go, Illinois! I apologize, Illinois.
The one that really is lagging behind at time, Delaware. Sometimes they release them 2 months at a time, and they're like way back sometimes.
No offense to Delaware. I rarely think about Delaware. When you say sports betting, I was like, oh, gee, I wonder how Delaware is doing.
What was that scene in...
hey, we're in Delaware.
Yeah. Okay. But let's go... we talked some of the numbers, some of the records. Let's talk some of the deals that have happened over the past week.
All right.
We had a bunch of deals. Some really interesting ones, as a matter of fact. We had Caesars announcing a multi-year partnership with the Cleveland Cavaliers.
This one's interesting. I heard about this one. This involves an actual retail sports book, right?
Right.
Okay.
Well, as everyone knows, Ohio's inching closer to launching their sports betting industry. The Cavaliers already have a deal with Fubo Gaming.
Okay.
It's the online sports book, the online... whatever they want to call it. Fubo Gaming is the company. They have a deal with the Cleveland Cavaliers. It's different than the Caesars deal because, as you said, the Caesars deal is going to have a retail sports book at Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse where the Cavaliers play.
This is going to be connected. This one's actually going to be connected.
in the stadium.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And this is where a sportsbook like Caesars differentiates itself from Fubo, because Fubo is strictly an online book.
Sure.
I haven't seen a retail book in their plans mentioned yet.
I was thinking about that. I think I even asked you, does Fubo have a retail book anywhere?
Well, they have sports betting lounges.
Okay.
And I know they got one with the Jets.
Okay.
In the Meadowlands, but I haven't heard them say anything about a retail book yet.
Okay.
And the one thing I noticed...
They're a great outfit. I hope they do have a retail book. I mean,
you got to give them time,
I rarely bet at a retail book, but it's fun to watch games at a retail book.
You got to remember, Fubo is more intent on incorporating the sports betting activity with their TV site.
Yeah, like I said, it's
they want to do.
I love Fubo TV, and I love how they the programs they have on it. It's great for the sports.
One other thing that separates this sports book apart from like the ones that are going to be open in the Cardinal Stadium, it's open to ticket holders and non-ticket holders.
Oh, okay.
You can actually go in from the outside.
All right.
Go in and place a bet, even if you don't have a ticket.
Okay.
The Caesars Sportsbook is also going to be, you're going to see Cavaliers logos and marks on the Caesars Sportsbooks. You're going to see Caesars brand on their broadcast and digital content across the Cavs properties. There's going to be TV visible in-game signage at the Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse.
Okay.
So, when you mentioned the Betway stuff, where you see Betway on the sides of the boards at the hockey games.
Oh, yeah, I see Betway everywhere.
You're probably going to see some of that with that type of stuff with the Cavaliers.
Okay.
I'm curious to see if anyone's going to get the stanchion, where the baskets are.
Yeah.
Let's go over to stay in North America, closer up to Canada. We're slowly moving up because I have a Canadian deal to talk about.
Okay, all right. Making our way to Canada.
Yes. We have FanDuel announcing a multi-year partnership with the Buffalo Sabres.
Okay.
FanDuel is the team's official sports betting partner. FanDuel will have end-to-end broadcast integration exclusivity in all phases of Sabres broadcasts, which means you're going to see FanDuel odds and promos and whatnot. That's a broadcast integration is another new phrase.
Okay.
We're seeing.
That means we're going to see FanDuel lines and spreads and things
exactly.
like that, and the pre and post games and things
also
like that,
you may see special promos.
Okay,
that sort of stuff. FanDuel get the right to use official Sabres logos and marks. I didn't see anything about in stadium sports books yet for them.
Okay,
I would have thought that would have been part of it because I know the deal I think they did with the Buffalo Bills mentioned something about a retail book at some point.
Okay.
But yeah, again, FanDuel did a deal with the Buffalo Sabres. Now, moving over to, we have, this is kind of an interesting deal. A very interesting deal. Amazon.
Yes. Okay.
Amazon has announced a deal it's a multi-year deal with Maple Leaf Sports.
Now, is this Canada, right?
This is Canada. That's
right.
why I was slowly moving up to
Canada.
the border here.
Okay.
Amazon Web Services, that's the formal name of Amazon for this stuff, announced a deal with Maple Leaf Sports and Entertainment, and I'm going to read these off my notes so I can actually get the teams right. It includes the Toronto Maple Leafs, the Toronto Raptors, the Toronto Football Club.
That's soccer.
Yep.
Okay.
And the Toronto Argonauts.
And that's
Canadian football.
Canadian football.
What they're going to be doing is using the Amazon technology for augmented reality and virtual reality to enhance the broadcasts of these games.
All right. I'm trying to figure out what that means. Augmented reality, huh?
Yes.
Okay.
And the main thrust of the deal is an enhanced game insights, content, data.
Okay.
You're going to be able to track your favorite player. You're going to be able to see the stats.
All right.
From the game,
okay. Yeah,
a
I like
live
that.
feed of stats for the games that are being played.
Kind of like a betcast. I guess you would call it a betcast,
if you want to simplify it, yes.
It's a little weird augmented reality.
But they're talking. Well, there's different aspects of the deal they're developing, and they're also going to be looking at allowing customers for Amazon as well as the fans of the teams to take part in free-to-play gaming and on-demand sports betting.
Wow, that's great.
So we're seeing a lot of integration.
Yeah.
To continue with that phrasing, content integration for sports betting as well as free-to-play is becoming a big thing too.
I think it's going to be a big year for Amazon, especially with the NFL deal and the Thursday night games for Amazon. So, Amazon really doing incredible things with sports.
Well, we're staying with the Canadian area of the world here. We're going to be talking about and let me get this right because I want to get the guy's name right, Toronto Maple Leafs center and alternate captain Austin Matthews signed a partnership agreement with Bet99.
Okay. I've never heard of Bet99.
Not a lot of people have because they haven't even gotten licensed yet.
Okay. So are they a Canadian outfit?
They're
kind
an
of
online
thing?
betting and gaming operator in Canada.
Okay. All right.
Ontario, to be specific.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, you just did an interview
Yes.
with Greg Warren from US Bets.
Big things are happening in Ontario.
Ontario seems to be the place to be.
That's the hot spot of betting for Canada. It appears to be. So.
And what the deal is a 3-year deal, supposedly worth 7 figures.
Okay.
It's supposed to be the most lucrative sports betting or gaming deal already for a Canadian player.
Okay, that's pretty good.
I mean, I don't know how you can track that right now since the industry is just beginning.
Yeah. So.
But it's
got to start somewhere.
It's to promote the free-to-play website bet99.net.
Okay, all right.
So we're seeing
Bet99 is up and ready now, just free to play, right? It's no real money yet.
Bet99.net is the free to play
All
site.
right.
I'm assuming bet99.ca.
That's right. Yeah, they're not going to. They have .ca.
Yeah.
All right.
So there's a lot of different things going on there.
All right.
We talked about this earlier in Turnpike Sports, the main show, where Caesars had their earnings call. And given what has gone on with New York and some of the other states, they've actually hit some of their target goals earlier than expected.
Yeah, I would guess so, yeah.
So they're cutting back on the advertising.
I keep saying Caesars is all over the TV, radio, buses, billboards in the New York area. I mean, it's incredible.
Well, they have hit their targets. So
I would guess so.
I'm assuming we're going to see somebody else come in and increase their spend.
Maybe. Who knows?
Maybe one of the other ones. I know we don't see too many. I mean, not as many points bet, not as many. I'm seeing a lot of Bet365 all of a sudden.
Well, the whole thing,
especially in the New Jersey, Pennsylvania, New York area.
I get confused where these commercials are coming from because in New Jersey we have Pennsylvania stations, we have New York stations, we have New Jersey stations. You know, you walk into a room in New Jersey and the TV's on and there's a sportsbook commercial on. You don't know what state they're coming out of, so who knows?
And again, it's a matter of market share. And some of them want to do it, some of them want to do it their own way. Rush Street Interactive, whether it's Bet Rivers or Play Sugar House, you don't see over-aggressive advertising from them. They have their own little engine that could kind of deal where they go and they just move forward on their own speed and doing their own deals. Speaking of other developments, here we have Wisconsin. 2 things happened in Wisconsin, and I'm switching gears to some launches.
Okay.
The first retail sportsbook could open in Milwaukee towards the end of this year, later this year, maybe mid to late year.
Okay.
Right. Governor Tony Evers and the Forest County Potawatomi tribe announced an amended gaming compact which would allow them to launch retail sports betting. Green Bay already has the retail book. They have the first retail book in Wisconsin.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
That's already open and
Green
running.
Bay, huh?
Yep.
All right.
It's actually right by the airport, they say. So,
okay. All right. I'll take your word for it.
That's what they say. I don't know too much about Green Bay physically. I've never been to Green Bay. Also, in Wisconsin, mobile sports betting launched. Sort of, huh?
Is this one of those things where you have to be on the actual property?
You got to be
to log on?
The Native American tribes casino property.
Okay.
To actually log on to the app, the Oneida Casino Sportsbook app.
You know, we have a couple states like that. I mean, I guess technically you can call them mobile sports betting, but really, I mean, if you walk off the property, you can't mobile sports bet in the state.
No, well, Mississippi's like that too.
Yeah.
They have 1 or 2 casinos. I think it's just one, really. BetMGM has an app, and you have to be on that casino's property to actually play online there.
Okay. Well.
We have MaximBet announcing that they're going to go live in Indiana and Iowa soon.
Wow, great.
With plans to go into even more states and also Canada. They're one of the ones targeting Canada.
Yeah, we just talked to MaximBet.
Yeah.
We had them on, yeah.
That's actually a great company.
It is. It's great. I love Maxim, the magazine, and Maxim Bet's doing great too. So, yeah.
BetMGM announced a content integration deal. There's that phrase again with SportsGrid.
Okay.
For integration of BetMGM odds and stats throughout the SportsGrid programming.
I like SportsBet. Are they still broadcasting out of the Meadowlands? I remember they kind of had a studio there at one time.
I want to say yes, but I'm not sure, and I don't want to speak out of turn on that one. I don't know exactly where they broadcast.
But they really come out of New York, right?
Yes.
They're out of New York.
We have Rush Street Interactive, market access opportunities in Ohio, Maryland, and Missouri through a 20-year strategic partnership with Penn National Gaming.
Wow. Okay.
The one thing I brought up for this is the fact that Rush Street also has a deal in terms of sports betting with the Hall of Fame. So maybe there's
the Football Hall of Fame.
The Football Hall of Fame in Ohio.
Okay.
I'm wondering with Penn National there, will we see either a Barstool or a Score Bet deal coming down the road for the Hall of Fame?
That'd be pretty cool.
It'd be interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, it's all market access. Churchill Downs came out in their earnings call and pretty much surprised everybody by saying no more Twin Spires.
You know, we keep having them on the Beatin The House segment of the Turnpike Sports Show. I mean, it seems like a lot of jackpots are coming out of Twin Spires, the online casino. And I guess they're winding that down, or they have plans on winding that down. Is that what's going on?
Twin Spires may still exist as a horse racing betting app.
Okay.
But they are getting rid of the sportsbook and the online casino part of it.
Wow. Okay.
It seems like they were doing extremely well with the online casino part.
Well, we know a lot of jackpots were coming out of there. So.
Yeah. So I'm really, really surprised that happened. But again, you know, it's one of those situations where they see an opportunity to actually work with third-party brands for sports betting and online casinos and take the licensing money.
Sure.
And that's actually not a bad way of doing
Absolutely
business.
Not.
They may bring it back at some point, seeing how well their revenue streams start to become. Caesars Entertainment, going back to Caesars, we have another announcement from them. They have announced that a Guy Fieri restaurant concept.
Okay.
Not a restaurant, but a restaurant concept.
I don't know what that means. A restaurant concept.
That's what he calls his restaurants. They're not restaurants. They're a restaurant concept.
There's one in Atlantic City. I think Bally's has it, or
he's got a couple. In
does he?
City.
Okay.
Yeah, he's got that. He's got like a sandwich shop in one area.
Yeah,
he's got a restaurant in another.
Yeah. Or there's a barbecue thing he has in Bally's. I think that's the thing I'm thinking of.
Well, Caesars is going to work with Guy Fieri to do a restaurant concept that will anchor its Chase Field Sportsbook in Arizona. There's a current restaurant there right now, but they will be replacing that with this Guy Fieri restaurant concept.
So that's how you pronounce his name? I've seen him
Guy
on TV.
Fieri?
I've seen him say Fieri. So it's Fieri. I don't know. I know who he is, but I'm just curious about how you say his name.
I'm going by what I hear.
I'm hearing 5 different ways to pronounce it.
Well, you know what? If he says it that way, that's the right way to say it.
Oh well, hey,
I don't watch his TV shows.
He's the one who said it.
So,
okay.
But last note here: Golden Nugget Online Gaming announced a deal with Strive Gaming.
Okay.
Strive Gaming is a platform provider, and they will power Golden Nugget's online sportsbook launch in Arizona.
Mm-hmm.
And also, the partnership extends into Ontario.
Oh, okay, good.
So we're going to start seeing some Golden Nugget movement towards our neighbors to the north.
More Ontario. Boy.
Ontario's
a hot spot.
It's going to be a really interesting time when
it
Ontario
already
launches.
Is. It already
That's
is.
what, April 4th?
I think so, yeah.
So, but that's it for this week's Turnpike Sports Book Report. Please keep those press releases and news reports coming in. info@turnpikesportsradio.com. If you were watching on TV, you also noticed additional stories in our ticker scrolling across the bottom of the screen. And the print version will be put up on the Turnpike Sports Radio blog about an hour or so after this is released. So there'll be a full thing there. Go to turnpikesportsradio.com and click on the blog button, and you'll see a full-blown version of the Turnpike Sports Book Report in print form there.
And that'll do it for us this week. We'll see you next time on the Turnpike.